Hello, everyone. Mm. And hello to the 40-year-old version of Glow who will watch this in 6 years and be like, this is why this chapter needed to close. I am amazed at just, let me fill y'all in. Clearly, I'm very tired. I'm very exhausted. This is it. This is my final night in this apartment after 5 years. And I found myself scrolling videos of who I was when I moved in. And I can't even, I don't even recognize her, not because I've changed and evolved so much, but there was just so much life experience to be gained. So much life experience was gained in these last 5 years. So there was almost like this bubbly, naive, like, oh man, just you wait. And life experience also breeds some of the most beautiful lessons. And so I don't look at any of this like oh, trauma, suffer. Brennan Burchard would always say, honor the struggle or honor thy struggle, which means seeing the blessings and the lessons in everything you go through and not only praising God when everything is smooth and easy. And this was such a test because I flew from Thailand and my heart was in Bosnia because, like I mentioned in last week's video, Stefan had a family death, and I was so torn knowing that I had already stretched my limit in waiting till the last minute here. So I had about 2 days to do everything. And if I went to Bosnia, there was just going to be no way. I mean, I would just be in violation of my lease. And I'm a first time renter, so I just wanted to keep a clean record, especially on my way out. So I knew I had to tie up responsibilities here. And yeah, my goodness. Interestingly enough, the entire time I was excited. I was like, ooh, what a new challenge and I can't wait for the other side. But like excitement in like, let's go. Like, cause Glow, you've overcome worse and less and better and more. So like this is nothing. Like, let's go. And I recognize that it's actually an ADHD symptom to choose the more challenging path because our brain gets dopamine in the process. So by constantly like not doing the easy thing, which is you Glow, you had 6 months to prep for this day. This day has not changed technically since a year ago. You knew this day was coming, and I was telling myself it's because I didn't know where I was going next. And it's really hard to pack up one chapter when there is no chapter waiting at the door. And I often tell clients that, clarity comes from action and it takes momentum to build a sense of understanding for what you're actually doing. And when I just really surrendered, because I chose a city, but it didn't feel God chosen, it didn't feel ordained. There's a video a few weeks back where I said, did God tell you to move or did God tell you to wait? And God was telling me to wait. He wasn't telling me to move just yet. And what he found me, the position he put me in, the way that I'm set up for this next season of my life, there is no version of Glow that would have orchestrated that. That was all God's doing. So when I say I am nothing without my prayer life and scripture and friends who lay hands on me and speak life over me, knowing what's possible. And I think, ugh, not gonna cry, not gonna cry. I think the most beautiful part about these last couple days is just seeing all the people that showed up for me without asking. And I was just telling my mastermind this. No one helps the strong friend. Instead, they say, you got it. Go get it. Good luck. Oh, no problem for you. Like they don't see us almost as human. We're superhuman because we're high functioning. And so when someone sees a strong person, yeah, this is also interesting. Someone sees a strong person um, struggling, they almost don't know what to do with themselves because they're like, wait, no, you're the person that I go to when I struggle. So what's happening here? Because I can't hold space. And oftentimes it's just, yeah, it becomes this thing where now we're like, okay, we see how people get uncomfortable when strong people show emotion. So we try to mask, and then it perpetuates the cycle that we don't need help. So it's been beautiful to see the amount of people, because obviously I had a lot to give away. And it started off as a giveaway. I was like, friends, pull up, take what you need. And like, yeah, that was it. I got some food. Like, a shout out to Zaylee, who helped order food to feed some of the people that stopped in. But yeah, I was like, and the first person that came, they're like, okay, what's your Venmo? I'm like, oh no, this ain't that. Like, I think our culture, and it's not even to this person, but I think it's not normal to just give away thousands of dollars of furniture. And because of the transactionality that is so embedded in our culture, it's like just in case it's offensive, like let me just offer. And so everyone started offering money, and I'm like, okay, so I like was denying it the first few times. I'm like, girl, stop. And I realized, I'm like, oh, the people who I don't have a transactional friendship with, like they're the ones that wanted to pay me the most. And I had to unpack that because I was like, oh, I see what's happening. This is more than just an exchange of value. This is like you're sewing into me. You're sewing into this next season. You know that I'm spending on movers and packers and flights back and forth. Like you're trying to sew into that, not you're not buying the furniture at 90% off and thinking that like that's going to do something. You're sewing into me. And I have to be okay with receiving that. Like, there are people where their love language is gift giving. And if you keep blocking people from operating in their natural gift, like, they're going to pretty soon, like, stop showing you love because that's what's natural for them. So don't block your blessings when people are speaking their first language of gift giving or just pouring into you. And of course, I've curated the people around me to be intentional, thoughtful, considerate. So, of course, like the money offers just kept coming. So I was like, this is getting overwhelming. Let me just put these little, do I have it somewhere? I don't know if it should be in the trash at this point. But these little flashcards, I found them. I think I bought them when I was learning Indonesian 3 years ago. Because it feels so old school, but it like flashcards really do work for vocabulary. Anyways, oh gosh, this looks like a little rat tail. I don't know why I braided it like this, but I was trying to. Okay. What was I saying? Dang it, ADHD. Um, Sorry, yeah, this. So I started saying, okay, the $5 items will be here, the $10 items will be here, 50, 100. But yeah, mostly it's like it's everyday stuff. And for me, this place is very themed, so it worked really well for people who already had a theme of bohemian, rustic, wooden, boho. And one person, I think their probably entire room will look exactly like mine did, which I love because it made it so easy for her to think about how to set it up. And one person who took a certain shelf set, she was like, wait, I'm gonna take a photo of how you put it so I can rebuild it this exact way. So it was really cool the first day to just see the creativity. And one person said, Glow, stepping into your space, it feels like I'm stepping into your brain, and I get it. And I looked around and I was like, oh, wow. There's color pop. There's a theme. There's like all sorts of things happening and all these trinkets everywhere. And it is chaotic, but it is beautiful. And it's me. And it was such a beautiful thing to hear. So with all of the tears that have been shed, I keep saying, my tears deserve their own zip code at this point because it just kept getting so emotional. And at one point, I was looking for, because this is my first time renting, right? So I don't know how badly like they look at the holes in the wall from like hanging pictures. For me, it was a map. I had this wooden map to this way, and it's from shipped from Poland. It's a very specific, it used double-sided tape, but also it included, I don't know, something that basically kind of rips the wall off, but it's not all of the wall. It's just like small pieces. So I was looking at TaskRabbit to hire someone to do, it's called spackling, something like that. Drywall, spackling, whatever. And by the time I was ready for that, because earlier in the day there was too much happening, too many movers, too many shoppers, too much foot traffic, too many boxes. So there wasn't any space for that. So by the time I was ready to order the spacklers, drywall people, none were available. There was probably over 100 in this city. None were available after I think it was 6 p.m. by that point. And I was like, there's no way. I was like, so I start texting people like, do you know someone who does this? Like, and some people are like, yeah, but it'll cost this much. And, people quoting, and, I'm not above paying for services. But when I look at it, it's really hard when someone is 10 times the price of what it could have cost you on TaskRabbit. So it's hard to justify, like, this isn't something that's like a luxury service. It's more of like this job just has to get done however it gets done. You could take 1 hour or 6 hours. It just needs to be done. So I couldn't understand the discrepancy of these people quoting exorbitant price, exorbitant. I should have just kept going so that y'all didn't see me struggle over that word. Anyways, people quoting me very large prices. And of course, like, I don't want to negotiate on, I'm like, I'm not gonna spend my energy doing that. But I also won't, I don't like that feeling of being taken advantage of. And sometimes with vendors, like they see that I'm so kind up front, they're like, oh, this one's like a sucker. This one, let's get as much as we can out of this one, and we'll just make up different deficiencies and things that we can add to the bill. And I don't remember who it was. She Sorry, it's a very related story. Okay, I won't mention the book name, but I think Jenny is this author's name. But she was living in a home in LA by herself and didn't realize that all of her house workers were basically stealing millions of dollars from her. But like they would break things and like make up jobs or make up titles or make up things to do around the house so that it looked like they were constantly fixing and working on things. Meanwhile, she was clueless to what was actually being fixed or broken. And she didn't realize till she sold the home that like, oh, these were all fake tasks. Like, what? So it's that feeling of like, okay, I'm a woman here by myself because bless Stefan's heart, he's in Bosnia mourning, going through mourning. And so I'm feeling like I was really missing that masculine energy because people who have met Stefan, you'll see him as this super zen. He is my peace. He is so grounding. He has such calm energy. But that man, at the end of the day, he's Bosnian. Bosnians are feisty people. I feel like Bosnians are the European Nigerians, and maybe that's why we have the same traumas. Anyways, yeah, if he was here, I wouldn't have to worry about any of that. And I would just let him be a man and do his job and like talk to other men and not feel so afraid to say something that, yeah, it just, the mental gymnastics of trying to be kind and assertive when you're paying for services or working with vendors or contractors. I just really don't like that part because I'm a naturally generous person, but if I'm managing my generosity based on whether you're trustworthy, I'm not going to enjoy the process and I feel out of place. And yeah, so the people who helped the most, it was a husband and wife duo. And my goodness, the way, I mean, I couldn't, here's the thing. It's it's there's so many things that feel like thankless jobs. Like people can take your work for granted. But when you have customers or clients that genuinely see your heart and genuinely see the heart in what you do, they just want to bless you. They want to pour into you. They want to, and it just so happened like the very things she needed, I had, and it kept happening. And I was like, this is not only did God send you to me because her energy, I mean, both of them, hardest working couple I've ever met, hands down. I don't know how they did it. There was one point where we're all boxing things, and I look at my bed and I'm like, I haven't seen you in a few hours. Like, what's up? I haven't seen you all day. I think I slept for the first couple days like 3 hours in the first couple days. So seeing my bed during the daytime, I was tempted. Anyways, and I'm like, I feel kind of lazy taking a nap in front of them. But at this moment, I have nothing on my mind but sleep, and I need something because my brain was just there's so much. So I'm taking what I presumed to be 20 minutes turned into 2 hours. And tell me why I wake up and they clean out one, two, three, four, five and a half spaces. And they're like, all right, your bedroom's last. Let us know when you're ready. And I couldn't process that level of speed, that level of, because I had been warned as well. I'd never worked with movers before. And they were like, don't let them take a break. I'm just kidding. They're like, be mindful of the lunch breaks because they go on for hours. And so I tried to, well, I didn't try to alleviate it, but in the morning I said, hey, good morning. It's going to be a big day. But I was like, I'd love to get everyone's coffee orders. What are your favorite snacks? I'll, you know, run up a grocery, um, not bill, but like run up an Instacart cart of just all of our favorite things so that we can be grazing and snacking throughout the day. And then when they got here, I was like, please let me know as soon as you're hungry. I'm happy to order the food. You can order it from my phone. I'm happy to cover it, like no problem. So I already wanted to create a space where it's like, one, you're going to be working hard. So please eat when you feel hungry. And maybe by offering a shame-free zone or environment to eat whenever they wanted, maybe they would feel less inclined to stall and maybe like, rack up more hours. But yeah, I mean, they didn't take their lunch break until, I mean, maybe 8 hours, 7, 8 hours. It was not normal. And I just kept expecting like one of them to be like, okay, we're gonna head out or okay, we're hungry, but that never happened. And hours are passing by and we were getting so much done. And even I the kitchen, I don't have a block, but I was like, oh, I'm gonna save it for last because the kitchen's right behind me. And I'm just like, the kitchen's gonna be last for some reason. And someone who I didn't even know, but she's a friend of a friend. And this is also why I didn't publicize where I was at, because if I allowed 10 people to come inside this place in the last 5 years, I'm not going to ruin the energy of my peace or just who I allow around me just for the sake of, clearing out the unit. So I allowed friends and friends of friends to come on down. And one friend of a friend came over early and got some stuff. And on her way out, she was like, hey, I'm going to text you later today and I'm going to come back and help. And no, she said either I'm going to come back and help or if you need help. No, no, she just offered. She's like, hey, I'm going to go drop this off. And then later on, I'm going to come back at this hour and come help. And I just, that again, going back to what I said at the top of did I say it? Maybe I threaded it. But you can't ask a strong friend for help. You just have to help without their permission because that is how they feel supported and seen and loved. And I know there is a level of toxicity in that where you should be able to verbalize your needs and you should lean into the vulnerability of the ask. But also, you have maybe in your childhood, workplace, in your family, I don't know. Maybe you've been in so many situations where people have offered something that they didn't actually mean. So then you look at offers as nice gestures for people to feel better about themselves, but not as actual things that people follow through on. So if you say, "Oh, let me know if you need help," and you see me in a pile of 60 boxes, I'm not going to ask you for help. Like that for me, sorry, I hope I'm not coming across as harsh. And this is, of course, not directed to anyone because everyone that came was amazing. But I'm just like, that is how I see it. If am, I let people know my capacity for help versus letting them dictate what I need to do. So if someone says, this was recent. Someone was preparing for a really big speaking engagement, and I had been helping them like negotiate and talk to the organizer because it was someone that I had referred, and so I'm just happy to be a liaison. And because I had spoke there previously, I also knew kind of like how their call it conference goes, and I, just gave some tips on, what worked well with the audience. And when she was saying that she was working on the presentation, I was like, "Ooh, and I'm available when you're ready to present and practice with me." I didn't say if you'd like to do a practice run or maybe if you feel I'm like, "Let me know when it's done so you can practice on me." And that was me saying, not only do I have the capacity to help, this is the very specific way that I can that will benefit you and that will like give you something very specific that someone else can't. And I knew that like that act in itself she was so overwhelmed by it because again, when you are specific in your generosity, in your acts of service, in your kindness, that's where the actual love and intimacy is built. It's not the general, let me know, I can do this, hope that you're well, hope this is okay, sending love, sending peace. That actually doesn't do anything for strong friends, for strong people, because it's almost like here's a platitude that sounds nice to say, but I don't have any uh, meaning they, don't have any personal connection to that word doing something for you. If someone sends you happiness, it's like, thanks. Or no, sorry, someone sends you love, sending happiness, that's right. Someone sends you love, it almost feels like this pitiful, like, oh, sending love. And I think it was Ellen DeGeneres on her Netflix special, which is amazing, by the way. That woman is incredible, and I hate what Hollywood did to her, but she's hilarious. So in her Netflix special, came out earlier this year, she was like, I always know when something happens in the news because my friends start texting me, sending love. And it couldn't be more, more accurate. Whenever I post something vulnerable or, there's something happening, like sending love, that I don't know what to do with that because I can't hold the love. I can't feel the love. I can't see the love. I can't process the love. It's hard to, it's hard. And it's also, you can send love for so many different things. So it also doesn't feel like it is, I don't want to say thought out, but like if someone is, I don't know, what's the situation where you would send love? um, Sending love to someone who is going through a heartbreak. If someone is going through a heartbreak, I'm not sending you love. I'm sending you flowers. I'm sending you a little gift bath and like a bath bomb, a massage certificate. And like, let's say I don't have the budget to spend money. I'm sending you a letter letting you know that you are worthy, affirming you of just who you are as a person and who you are in this world and what I see in you and what I love about you. Like, that's how I'm sending love. I'm sending love through specific words and actions and thoughtful, intentional. I- Yeah, it's thoughtful, it's intentional, and it shows effort. That's sending love. Sending love is not a two-word sentence. Like, that's not actually love. That's a pat on the back to yourself to feel like you did your part in being remembered when someone else is going through something hard. I don't want to sound like I don't know where this tangent is coming from. And I think I've hinted at some of these things in the past, but with this ADHD diagnosis, I feel so much more bold and raw to say how I really feel about things. And what I'm learning about this next season and chapter, it is going to require a level of authenticity in not being afraid of backlash and not being afraid of my bold truths. And the bold truths have always been the same, but sometimes I'm not always sharing them. Maybe it's for people in my private circles and my communities, but being okay with sharing those same bold truths to a larger audience who needs it more than just my friend groups. I I don't know. I don't know what to say. It has been it's just wall. It has been the ride of sorry. It has been the ride of my life. And I guess I'll end with talking to my 40-year-old self who will watch this in 6 years and be like, wait, why did you leave? What was the point? What was so emotional about the season? Glow, 40-year-old Glow. Oops, sorry. Dear 40-year-old Glow. It glitched. Okay, we're back. Dear 40-year-old Glow, who you became in this place was beautiful, thoughtful, healing, peaceful, and just more you. Every year, you peel back a layer of the masking you had to do to try to be understood by the world. You've always known that there was something different about you, and not just ADHD different, but girl, you was meant to do way more than just hide in a box in the sky. That's what I call this place. It's a box in the sky where I hid for 5 years. My life, your life, girl, is meant to be more than this. And it's not a coincidence that the people that you have access to, the rooms that you've been in, the stages that you've spoken on, none of that has been coincidental. So I hope you're ready because this next season of visibility, you about to be real seen, girl. And you better lean in, but also know that it's going to come with a lot more people trying to latch on to you, trying to take from you, trying to ask more of you. Please, please, please get clear about who and what you need in your life. Know that access to you is a privilege, and it's okay to raise the price of that privilege. In this next season in Bangkok, I hope you use that place and space as the canvas of your dreams. Create consistently there. Create a series. Leap into new ventures and opportunities. Do things that are different. Start building out that next iteration of your life because, girl, you done did too much to be playing it safe, to be hiding it, to be hiding and playing small, and to not be sharing your light a little bit more. So that's that. I'm gonna record an Instagram story now in the bedroom, pack the rest of this up, head to my friends, and then the airport. It's crazy. This is crazy. Oh my gosh, what a ride. I am never buying furniture again. The amount of stuff I owned, y'all ghetto. I am this Bangkok place, it came furnished. I was like, why have I not already, like, why wasn't this how I always did things? I am never hoarding this much crap again. The amount of gadgets and trinkets for one or two time uses. But I think they have new homes that will take better advantage of their usage. I'm about to pass out standing up. So let me end this and I'll get it up maybe tonight or tomorrow. It's Tuesday, 7 p.m. when I'm recording this. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your prayers. Pray for Stefan as well. And yeah, I'm just counting down towards the end of the year and ready for a fresh start. Love y'all. Bye.